You're listening to the WSTC News Podcast. And now, today's news anchors. Hello and welcome to this WSTC News Podcast. I'm Zach Schneider.
And I'm Caden Ryan. This student-operated podcast is brought to you by the Belmont Harrison Career Center and St.Clairsville High School.
First up today, a new app has been designed to put more cash in your pocket. These days, many teens are having a hard time finding a job that is flexible enough to fit around their work and school activities. So many teens are looking for some creative ways to make some money that still fits that busy schedule. And a new startup has come up with a clever way to get more teens a job. And get this, all you need is your cell phone. The app is called Scratch, which assists teens in finding odd jobs. Adults list services they need, things like tutoring or help with technology, and teens sign up for these local gigs whenever they can. According to the U.S. Labor Department, 52% of teens were in the workforce in 2011. It dropped to about 34% in 2015 and is projected to shrink to 26% in 2024. Due to teens being busier than ever with school, extracurricular activities, college applications, and regular household chores, be sure to check out this new app. But remember, teens have to be at least 14 to sign up for this app and get their parents' permission.
Next, a little closer to home. The West Virginia House of Delegates passed a 5% pay raise package for teachers, service personnel, and state police, according to a release from the House of Delegates. Governor Jim Justice announced in a revised revenue forecast for an increase of General Revenue Fund collections by $58 million, which will allow for the pay raises. The raise package will be effective July 1st. Raises for other state employees will be addressed in the upcoming fiscal year 2019 budget bill, which will be visited soon. Justice originally planned a 3% raise for state police, but the House Finance Committee adopted an amendment increasing it to 5%. Justice also signed an executive order Wednesday creating a task force for PEIA, which will begin work next month. The bill now moves on to the Senate. Are the students and staff prepared for the fourth 9 weeks to start? Is everyone ready for spring and the nice weather? Now let's turn our attention to Zach Schneider for more on this story.
March 9th will mark the end of the third 9 weeks, and students and staff are preparing for the last 9 weeks of the school year. We start with senior Luke Osborne.
I'm excited to graduate and study at Akron University.
And now senior Rihanna Weethy.
I'm just really ready to get this over with and get to graduate and just have a good time. And I'm so excited to go to college at West Virginia University in the fall and be able to spend my time studying things I really want to study.
With about 60 school days left, not including spring break, what changes or challenges will students and staff face in the last fourth 9 weeks? Here's Dr. Walt Skaggs.
Well, the fourth 9 weeks is always one of our busiest 9 weeks because we have testing. So we'll have a lot of testing going on district-wide, and then getting schedules ready for next year. It's hard to believe the year's almost over, but we'll be starting to schedule here within the next couple of weeks.
In addition to the end-of-the-year testing, spring sports are starting, and St. Clairsville's prom is April 7th. Reporting for WSTC Podcast, I'm Zach Schneider. Now back to you.
Don't go anywhere. Stay with us for more WSTC news. Who will be this week's special guest on Conversation Corner, and of course, WSTC Sports. You won't want to miss it. We'll be right back after a message from our sponsor.
Carry on, carry on. Let's carry on and take advantage of the opportunities offered at the Belmont and Harrison Career Centers and learn a trade while earning your high school diploma at the same time. Check out interesting and challenging programs right now. Business, skilled trades, technical, mechanical, or personal services. You'll find Belmont and Harrison Career Centers facilities and programs truly amazing. See your guidance counselor or call the Belmont and Harrison Career Centers today at 740-695-9130 or visit their website at www.bhccenters.com.
Welcome back to this WSTC News Podcast. This is today's segment of Conversation Corner with our special guest, Mr. Slonica. Mr. Slonica is a sophomore biology teacher here at St.Clairsville High School. He is an outdoor enthusiast, a veteran of the U.S. Armed Forces, and will be sharing some great things with us today. Welcome, and thank you, Mr. Slonica, for your service and for being on our podcast today. I have a few questions to kick off this episode of Conversation Corner. Let's get started. What are a few of your favorite things about teaching?
Well, before we get started, I'd just like to thank you, Caden, for having me on your show here. I really appreciate it. A few things that I like about teaching. Number one, working with young people. I don't want to say children because, I have high school kids. They're sophomores. They're 15, 16 years old. And I tell them all the time, they're closer to young men and women than boys and girls and children. So I really like working with young men and women here at St.Clairsville. I like the subject that I teach, biology. It's always changing. For example, we're on plants right now in the plant kingdom, which I really like. But, you're on that for a week or so or 10 days, and then that starts to get old, and it's time to take a test and move on to the fungus kingdom. And then the third and final thing that I like about teaching is the time off. We have a lot of time off, vacation time, 3 months in the summer, and
snow days and everything else.
2-hour delays. It's just been a good gig. Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one. What are a few hobbies that you have?
Yeah, a few hobbies. As you said at the beginning, I'm an outdoor enthusiast. Anything outside, out of doors, just walking around, hiking, gardening, hunting, fishing, camping. I like working with wood, and probably the latest hobby I got into was I just bought a used 1967 Ford. It's called an 800 series tractor.
Nice.
And that's kind of neat, to play around with that. And
Restoring it?
No, it's in good shape, but they're easy to work on.
Yeah.
They don't have all the electronics and computers, and it's really going to help me with my food plots and mowing some of the heavy brush down.
Yeah, that's nice. Let's take a step away from the questions. I'll tell you a joke. What was the biologist wearing on his first date with a hot chick?
What was the biologist wearing with his first date with a hot chick? I don't know, Caden, you got me.
Designer jeans.
Is that a genetics joke?
Yeah.
I get it. I like it. I thought it was going to be like a chicken joke. And you said a hot chick, something about fried eggs or something. Sunny side up eggs.
No.
I've got one for you.
All right, let me hear it.
Why, when you have a party, birthday party or just a party, Christmas, any kind of party, you should always serve some kind of a mushroom dish. Mushroom soup, might be mushroom dip, it could be stuffed mushrooms with crab. Why should you do that?
I have no clue.
Because they're a fun guy.
I like that one there. All right, let's move on. Question number 3. What is your favorite place to eat?
No doubt, the official name is Ye Old Alpha. Most people just call it the Alpha. It's over in Wheeling. It's they have like a bar and a grill, but they also have like a restaurant side, and it's very consistently good food and good atmosphere. But I gotta say a close tie would be Melman's. I love Melman's.
I can go for a nice Melman's fish right now.
Yeah, it's always good and it's inexpensive.
Yeah, I agree on that one. Our final question is, name 3 things that your students probably don't know about you.
Probably the first one, that I'm 55 years old. The second one, that I've been married for 32 years to my wife, never been divorced. And then third, that I'm a strong Roman Catholic.
Those are some of the things I don't know about you right there.
Really?
Yeah.
See, those are good ones.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Slonica, thank you so much for being on our podcast today. We always enjoy having guests on the show. It was really fun, and we learned a lot about you. Since I had you in the past, I can say firsthand that we are very lucky to have you here at St.Clairsville High School. You have impacted many of your students in great ways. Again, we thank you for your service, not only in the military, but also in education.
Thank you, Caden.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's been an honor and a pleasure. Really appreciate it.
And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. There's more to come. Up next, WSTC Sports. And now WSTC Sports with Craig Furkowski and Trey Delguzzo.
When you flip the calendar to March, which we recently did, most sports fans think of one thing first: March Madness.
This springtime event is spreading, which means college basketball teams are playing for one goal: to see their name on the 68-team NCAA tournament bracket revealed on Selection Sunday, which is just around the corner, Sunday, March 11th.
TBS will broadcast the unveiling of the 68-team NCAA tournament bracket during its Selection Sunday show beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
The 2018 NCAA tournament bracket will be announced March 11th. San Antonio will host the Final Four and National Championship game March 31st to April 2nd.
And now, what do the halls of St.Clairsville think or predict? Let's find out.
It's my favorite time of year. Because of the basketball, I can't get enough of it. Teams that I look to advance, I think Michigan State has a really good chance. I think a sleeper team might be, although they're ranked kind of high, Xavier or Wichita State. These are really strong teams, and you can never count out Villanova in the East.
And that was Red Devil basketball coach, Coach Clifford. And now senior forward, Matt Butkus.
It's going to be exciting. It's all up in the air right now, and no one's really predicted because everyone's losing now. And I think Wichita State, Xavier, Gonzaga are going to be the bigger teams to make it farther in the round.
And this is Craig, introducing Craig, Bober.
Being a basketball player and basketball being my favorite sport, I'm excited for March Madness and for the upsets to come. I'm picking WVU and Duke to go far.
Okay, and now, finally, on this WSTC News podcast, we're going to leave you with a few Did You Know facts.
And yes, these are all true.
Did you know a bear has 42 teeth?
That's a lot of teeth.
I don't believe that. I mean, obviously it's a did you know fact, but I don't believe it.
Did you know each time you see a full moon, you always see the same side?
Actually, I feel like I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Did you know the fortune cookie was invented in San Francisco?
No.
Invented. Okay, so you go to a Chinese restaurant and you get fortune cookies. It was invented in San Francisco.
Fortune cookies are actually not a thing in China at all.
Really?
My brother spent 4 years in China on a missionary trip and never saw a fortune cookie.
Wow.
It's a totally American thing.
Did you know a cat has 32 muscles in each ear?
Actually, I did know that. My mom had this cat, and it was deaf in both ears, and it actually didn't have any muscles in its ears, and its ears were flopping over. No hearing in the ears. Did you know a giraffe can clean its ears with its 21-inch tongue?
And that's one long tongue.
That's disgusting. I wonder if...
Probably like a big long Q-tip.
Well, that's all the time we have for this WSTC News Podcast. Thanks for listening, and be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube.
Stay classy, enjoy the warmer temperatures, and have a great week.